These two sections cover actually quite a few years. The last chronological section we had was way back in 1843. Now we're jumping over to 1844 with Doctrine and Covenants 135. This is the martyrdom of Joseph Smith and Hyrum Smith. And then for section 136, we're jumping again to 1847. So it's over the span of several years. We're dealing with major shifts in the Latter-day Saints' sense of self because they've just lost their prophet and they're trying to move west. When it comes to section 135, leading up to the martyrdom, you've got just a powder keg of tension between the saints gaining a lot of political power in the area. They are learning new doctrines. Joseph Smith is teaching some radical new things about plural marriage, the plurality of gods, the nature of man to become like God, all of these things that are so different to frontier America. And the Latter-day Saints are also expanding economically and population-wise. They're becoming a large force in Illinois. And so they're developing enemies as a consequence of that. All of this is building up against the Saints. And then the spark that kind of lights the flame is the destruction of the Nauvoo Expositor, which is telling all sorts of negative accusations towards the Saints. So Joseph Smith has the press suppressed. That develops outrage, which eventually leads them to Carthage, Illinois to stand trial. And it's while they're waiting in the county jail at Carthage, Illinois, that the mobs come and martyr Joseph Smith. So 135 is not necessarily a revelation in the same sense that Joseph had been receiving, but it's a eulogy, it's a tribute to the prophet and his brother Hyrum. And then leading up to 136, we've got, like I mentioned, a year after the fact, the Saints have been increasingly experiencing persecutions. They had to leave Nauvoo in the middle of the winter, and they end up having to kind of set up a makeshift camp at winter quarters in Nebraska. And they are devastated because they've been experiencing illness and death to kind of an unprecedented degree up to this point in their journey. And at this low point in their morale, Brigham Young receives this revelation to strengthen the saints, to prepare them for the journey, and to give some practical logistical instructions.